What I would say is I think there's probably a lot of people who are struggling. And there's people who are struggling because, of the economy. There are people who are struggling because of maybe their own personal circumstances. Maybe they're just getting started and they're scared and they're getting stuck. The key I would tell everybody is just don't quit. And it may sound a lot simpler than it is. There's going to be times when you don't want to get out of bed in the morning and you want to put your head under the covers and just say, you know what? I don't want to face the world today.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I am your host, Q Edmonds, and I am excited to be here today. Have another fantastic guest. And when I asked him a little secret to his sauce, he said, you know what? I just outworked the competition. And he did mention his charm a little bit too. So I think we're going to see a little bit of his charm come shining through as we have this conversation today. But I am so excited to introduce you all to Mr. Charles Seaman. Mr. Charles, how you doing today, sir?
Excellent. Quentin, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much for being here. And listen, Charles, I'm the type, I like to dive in, man. So I would love for you to tell the people what your main focus is these days. If you can give us a little bit of an origin story, kind of how you got to the point where you are. Like, we love the journey. We love the hero's journey. And then, man, let them know where you are in the world geographically. People seem to love to know where you are, just in case if you're close to them and they can partner up or connect. So what your main focus is, your origin story, and where you are. Mr. Charles, you have the floor, sir.
Absolutely. I'd be glad to. So my story began in Brooklyn, New York, and that's where I'm from. Um, Live in Charleston, South Carolina now, but New York certainly made me who I am. And starting from there, I came from a single parent household. We always had food on the table and a roof over our head, but not usually too much more than that. And we didn't really talk about money in my house. It wasn't something that, was a conversation at the dinner table or really anywhere. So it was something that as I graduated high school and I started trying to figure myself out in the world, that I stumbled initially upon network marketing, and that was the first thing that really exposed me to passive income and just thinking a little bit differently than the average person. So that also put me around a different network. And then as I say, it really got me into real estate. It wasn't so much that I was aspiring to be a real estate investor. It was more so that I was young, dumb, and broke. And I
Mm,
needed a job. And the job that I found, amongst other things, had exposure to commercial real estate. I was very fortunate to work for a guy that was very successful and to learn a lot from him. And that was a great benefit. So when I first started that job, I intended to stay there for 2 to 3 years. Figured I'd go out and do my own thing after, kind of just build myself up, get solid, and move on. But as life happens, sometimes that doesn't always work that way. I started gaining more responsibility, started making a little more money. Maybe I thought I was important. And next thing you know, here I am coming up on almost 10 years there, and I'm thinking to myself, I was only going to stay here 2 to 3 years. What happened? And I thought to myself and said, well, do I still want to go out and do my own thing? That was always kind of my passion. So always, what I wanted to do. I consider myself an entrepreneur. And around that point, there was, I started there when I was only 20 years old. So I was just pushing 30 when I was kind of having these thoughts. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I do want to do my own thing because inherently I have to try. I've been very disappointed in myself if I went through my whole life, and even if I made a decent living working with somebody else, saying I just don't know what's possible because I never tried it. And the last thing you want to do is have regrets. So around that point, I stumbled on wholesaling initially.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Decided that that wasn't really the right fit. Made that decision after testing it out for a few months and hiring a mentor. And I realized two things. One, I didn't like it very much, and two, I wasn't good at it. Um, so I took a little bit of a break, kept working my full-time job. About a year later, in 2016, I discovered syndication for the first time, went to a free seminar. And then after that, it took another 9, 10 months before I really started diving into it. But I said, this strategy could work. It allows me to do the types of deals I want to do and be able to raise capital and use other people's money with them. So then in 2019, I left the full-time job, went full-time in syndication. And to date, I've syndicated, 11 deals in the multifamily space. And now I, still look at multifamily, but I don't see a lot that has me excited. So more of my recent, activity has actually been on the industrial and flex side because I see at least some excitement there and things to be, really clamoring about.
I love it, Mr. Charles, man. Thank you, Charles, for taking us through the journey, taking us to how you got to where you are now. And as you was talking, I was just taking little notes. How begin in Brooklyn, single parent household. I loved how you stumbled across network marketing and you just went through just different transitions and went full time in syndication. I believe I heard you say in 2019, right?
Correct.
And
Yep.
so yeah, and so I regurgitate all these things to you, Mr. Charles, because I have a saying where I say destiny has no wasted moments, right? Meaning no matter what we've been through in life, our journey has kind of brought us to the point where we are now. And we borrowed
Yes.
from different things that we went through our life to kind of get to the mindset and the strategies and the person that we are now. And so I would love to know, Mr. Charles, throughout your journey, man, coming from Brooklyn, single household, stumbling in network marketing, finding your niche in syndication. What has this journey taught you about yourself? Has it taught you discipline, humility, resilience? Like, what has it taught you about you, man?
All those things.
Yeah,
So you learn them sometimes at different points, right? Life is a journey, and none of us have all the answers at any given time. Um, you know, you when you first start out, you think you know everything, but then after you do things a while, you realize you don't know everything.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's ironic. You would think it would be the other way, but it's not. Usually, you start out, and then you get humbled, and that kind of teaches you, and you learn some of your best lessons that way. Um, what has also taught me, I knew this beforehand, but it's different reading it in a book or seeing somebody else go through it versus doing it yourself, is that you need to be tenacious. If you're going to become successful as a business owner or an investor or even in the corporate world, you have to be tenacious. You're going to get knocked down. It's not if, it's not when, it's when, it's not if. And if you're going to be successful, you got to be able to come back when you get knocked down.
yeah, yeah. Nope, I think that's so good, man. And I'm so glad you said it because that's something that we talk about consistently here is that adversity is going to come, right? No, if you stay in business long enough, you stay in life long enough, adversity is going to come. And what do you do once you get hit, once you get knocked down? What do you do? So I'm so glad that you mentioned that because that's the consistent mind frame and mindset that we try to keep here when we talk to people. So I'm gonna ask you this: what comes to mind when you hear cash flow champs? When you hear that, what comes to mind for you, Mr. Charles?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
So what comes to mind is that, I think you want to be opportunistic. And where we are right now, we're recording this in April 2026. For commercial real estate, for anybody who's been following that the last couple of years, a lot of asset classes have been on a downward spiral. And for better or worse, unfortunately, I've not been immune to that. I've experienced some of that myself.
Yes.
But it's opportunistic, and it's kind of goes back to that whole tenacity thing. Sometimes commercial real estate really tests your patience and your tenacity because the cycles can last years, not months.
Yeah.
So what I think of is that there have been some things that didn't go exactly the way we hoped, but now there's opportunities to rebound, opportunities ahead, and it's picking up for lack of a better term, picking up the ashes and rising through it and becoming a phoenix.
Yeah, man. No, I love it, man. The rise of the phoenix. Let's go. This is where we come back. And I always say what don't breaks you, it may bend you, but it won't break you, right? Situations may bend you, but they will not break you. So what is the next real goal for you guys? What are you looking to solve or scale next with your business?
So what we're looking to do there is to, to keep building investor relations, ideally with some larger check writers, maybe some family offices, and be able to strike quickly when opportunity presents itself.
Yeah. 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 Sink straight to the point. Like you took, like when you said strike when the opportunity presents itself. So I know one of the things you said, you love my poster back there. And so it says make your own luck. That's what it says. But
Right.
my running definition of luck is when preparation meets opportunity. So, that's when the luck comes into play, is when you have prepared and the opportunity comes up and you strike on the opportunity. So I love how you talked about striking on the opportunity. So I know you're looking for continuing building a healthy relationship with investors. So when you hear the word relationship, Mr. Charles, what comes to mind for you?
Well, great question. There's a lot of things. So this is a common one in our industry, but it's kind of that know, like, trust triangle. And
Yeah.
obviously the relationship starts with people knowing you and you knowing them. So you have to be willing to put yourself out there and vice versa. Uh, and ideally at least be somewhat likable, and more importantly, especially in business, build trust. So once they know who you are and vice versa, you want to build trust, and that means even if things don't go perfectly, the fact that you're communicating openly and honestly and working through to resolve it as best you can, uh, a lot of times that can build goodwill and create strong relationships.
Mm. I love it. I mean, healthy communication, building trust, starting a conversation from communication from an honest, integral standpoint. That's everything, man. I think that's the way you build trust, is just being authentic, being in having integrity. And so I love that outlook. So Mr. Charles, let me ask you, is there any topic that I have not brought up that you would like to talk about? Or is there any other words of maybe inspiration, education, motivation? I don't know if you came in with something on your mind that you feel like our viewers would benefit from. I kind of just want to open up the floor. That
Yeah,
way you can get that message across. So yes, sir.
absolutely. Well, what I would say is I think there's probably a lot of people who are struggling. And there's people who are struggling because, of the economy. There are people who are struggling because of maybe their own personal circumstances. Maybe they're just getting started and they're scared and they're getting stuck. The key I would tell everybody is just don't quit. And it may sound a lot simpler than it is. There's going to be times when you don't want to get out of bed in the morning and you want to put your head under the covers and just say, you know what? I don't want to face the world today.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
But those are the days you got to get up and really kick your butt more than anybody. Be your own biggest cheerleader, your own biggest supporter, because if you're not, nobody else will. You need to believe in yourself. Even if your dreams seem far away and they seem unachievable, they're probably not as far away or unachievable as you think they are. You just need to keep working towards them and pivoting. So don't quit, keep going, and eventually you'll get there. It may take longer than you expected, but if you don't quit, you'll usually get there.
Self-talk is so important. If you're not talking good to yourself, you can't expect anybody else to do it. So you've got to make sure you're talking good to yourself. Positivity, training your mindset, speaking well, and affirmations to yourself. Absolutely love it, Mr. Charles. Listen, sir, if someone wanted to reach out to you, connect with you, collaborate with you, learn more about what you're doing, how can they get in contact with you, sir?
Yeah, great question. So there's two ways. The first one I'll give you is my cell number, and they can text me. That's 347-306-3278. And the second one is my email address, and that's charles@cashflowchamps with an S at the end.com. So text or email would be the best ways.
There you go. Well, there he is, everyone, Mr. Charles. Let me say three things to you, sir. First, thank you for your time. You couldn't be doing anything but your time, but you gave us some of your time, so thank you for that. Secondly, thank you for your story, man. Thank you for your gift of honesty and transparency. I believe stories have a way of planting seeds in people when they hear them. They can literally course correct them or spark an idea that they never thought of. So thank you for coming through with your story and your narrative. Lastly, man, thank you for your mindset, the way you think, and bringing that mindset to this platform. I greatly appreciate you being here today, Mr. Charles.
Likewise, thanks for hosting me. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, listen, y'all heard Mr. Charles. Please look into the show notes, get in contact with him. All the information that he gave should be there. But definitely make sure you are subscribed here because we're going to continue to bring up great people just like Mr. Charles. So, sir, I say thank you again. And everyone else, y'all have a fantastic day.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.